Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the sixth conference of the Kenya Top 100 survey. We have had a conference every year since the first survey was done, having each and every one of you join us at the conference to just discuss the findings of the survey, the key issues, and just exchanging ideas about business in general. So having you here is a great privilege, and we look forward to a wonderful day together, all right? So if you can, please make your way to the center section where we can all be nice and cozy together. You'll be too far away at the back there, so please make your way to the center section. Thank you very much. There's a lot of space in here, and this is where you have the best views in the house. As I was saying, this is our sixth conference, and we use this opportunity to share with you the findings of the survey. A number of people usually have questions about how it went, what is the reason why they had a particular position, why is it a particular competitor maybe was ranked higher, or what really goes through in coming up to the final rank that we then mentioned during the gala dinner, which will be held tomorrow, and I do hope that you're planning to attend. It is a black tie gala dinner, which basically means that though it is Friday, it will be one of those exceptions you will make to your dress code. The risk is that if your plan is to go back home to change, you could be caught up in traffic and then miss the best seats in the house. So the alternative would be that you carry your nice black suit or tuxedo, as the case may be, or your dinner dress somewhere in a bag and put it in the office after work to quickly change and join us at the Carnival restaurant. So if you have not yet purchased your tickets, we have at the KPMG booth behind there. Please make your way there. Buy some tickets for your staff members. They would be happy to rejoice with you. For those of you that will be celebrating tomorrow, for your family, if your mom is around, she will really be proud of you if you get her a ticket to come as well. So the tickets are on sale at the back there. We are glad to have our sponsors for the Kenya Top 100. And this year, we are privileged once again to have Sage Pastel. Sage Pastel is a key anchor sponsor of the Kenya Top 100. And they not only sponsor the program in Kenya, they also sponsor in Uganda as well. And we are having very intimate discussions with Nikki Summers to get her into our program in Rwanda. And from the way she is smiling, I think she will definitely be convinced that Rwanda is a fantastic place to put a little bit of what Sage Pastel does very well. Nikki, thank you very much for your sponsorship. That's Nikki Summers. We also have the Nairobi Securities Exchange, who are key sponsors of Top 100. I cannot see any of the Nairobi Securities Exchange people. They're probably out there. Okay, I see Lina there at the back. Thank you very much. That's Lina, one of those that works at the Securities Exchange, and they'll be talking to us later. Thank you very much. Their sponsorship goes a long way. This year, we also had the privilege of having UAP Life. UAP Life came on board and said to us, you are doing exactly what we are doing, and you're in the region, and we want to walk this journey with you, and they joined us. And if you look at the Business Daily paper, which Nation Media Group have at the back there, you will see a little story there where we are talking about that sponsorship opportunity. I happen to see my picture there as well, so if you don't have a problem with the way Anne and I look, you could find that in the papers there. But we thank UAP for that very generous show of support through their sponsorship. We also have Strathmore Business School. Strathmore Business School are our sponsors, and through thought leadership, they help us in seminars, in helping us write business cases for our companies, and we are happy to have them on board again this year. We have also had this year the privilege of having partnerships. Kuza Biashara, one of the digital media companies, are also with us on this, and they help us on the digital platforms, as well as Protel. Protel Studios are our partners this year with videography. If you visit your YouTube channel, you will find more than 250 YouTube clips starting from 2008, all the top 100 conferences, the gala dinners, the winners in each year. If you visit YouTube and Kenya Top 100, you will find lots of videos, and we will be also doing live streaming of tomorrow's event. And if your family are not able to make it, you can have them follow the live stream of YouTube. So we are thankful to them for that. And thank you all very much for coming. Shortly, I will invite one of our founder members, the CEO of KPMG East Africa. I will call him up shortly to just come and open with a few words, and after which we shall officially get into the program. A certain company, which is not yours, had a problem with motivation, okay? So the people in there had an issue with morale. So every day the boss came in and everybody looked downcast and happy and motivated. They didn't seem to be very enthusiastic about working. So they implemented a system to help improve morale. Whatever that system was, I can't tell. But one day, the MD stands up in front of all the staff and says, "Ladies and gentlemen, the beatings will continue until morale improves." So I think he had implemented a different type of morale boosting technique, which you shouldn't introduce into your firms, okay? So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let me invite Anne Gitao to just come and make some opening remarks, and then invite Josephat. Anne Gitao is the marketing director for Nation Media Group, and she will then invite Josephat to just come and make a few remarks. Welcome, Anne.
Thank you, Robert. I know some of you might have seen on the program Linus Gitahi. I'm obviously not Linus Gitahi, but I do want to give apologies on his behalf this morning. It's been a tough year for media in Africa this year. You know, earlier this year we were shut down in Uganda for about 10 days, and last week we were shut down in Tanzania. So he's actually had to go down to Tanzania today to try and deal with that, you know, because we do truly believe in media freedom and what it does for democracies in Africa. But he's here with us in spirit, you know, given that he was actually one of the founding members of the Top 100. But this morning, you know, as I was thinking about, you know, what is it that I should share with you this morning, you know, representing Nation Media Group, representing Linus Gitahi. And obviously with the Top 100, it's about celebrating organizations such as the ones that you represent here this morning, which have participated in the economy, which are creating jobs for Kenyans every single day. And you know, over the last few weeks, we have been running some articles in the Business Daily about the challenges that entrepreneurs face. And you know, there's been a particular concentration on even as an entrepreneur, sometimes having that get up and go, sometimes when business is not doing very well and, being able to motivate not just yourself, but your employees. And I had never quite thought of it like that. I had always thought entrepreneurs were invincible. They go out, they conquer the world. But that gave me a completely different perspective. But I came across an interesting statistic the other day which said that about 800,000 young Kenyans enter the workforce every single year. 800,000 Kenyans. And that for me was a chilling statistic. And this article that I was reading, went on to say that of those 800,000, only about 50,000 will actually find some sort of formal employment. So that leaves another 750,000, to their own devices. They have to figure out, do they start a micro-enterprise? The ones who are lucky do start a micro-enterprise. The ones who are not so lucky, end up with odd jobs here and there, or some of them get absorbed into farming activities. So that is obviously a huge challenge for our country. And, a lot more brilliant minds than mine have attempted to figure out what's the heart of the problem, how do we solve this problem, how do we make sure that these 800,000 young Kenyans entering the workforce every single year have something gainful to do. There is one particular issue that is close to my heart, and I'm not attempting to lay blame here, but I do believe that one of the challenges lies with our education system. I went through the 844 system, and I think my only interaction with business of any sort was a book that was done by, one of the famous 844 authors, Malkiat Singh, and I think the book was called Business Studies. And in it, we were taught how to do, simple cash flow statements. We were taught how to do a simple balance sheet, how to do a simple ledger entry. But we were never taught where that money comes from. It was sort of just assumed that you will know that the money is created somehow. And those of us who grew up in the era where KBC was the only form of entertainment will remember there was a popular song. I'm not going to attempt to sing it. Singing is not a particularly strong point of mine. But the lyrics in Kiswahili went something like, someni vijana mutie bidii na mwisho wa kusoma mtapata kazi nzuri sana. How many of you remember that song? Someni vijana. Yeah, I can see a number of you. And I think that actually is part of the problem because, we, throughout that era, and even now, we tell our young people, study hard and you will find a good job. So they come out of high school, they come out of a polytechnic and expect that they will find a job waiting for them. And obviously when that doesn't happen, they end up getting very frustrated. So we have taught them to be job seekers rather than job creators. And, and even the ones who do attempt to create jobs are not equipped with the skills that they need to do that. And I also came across another interesting statistic, which is that in developed countries, SMEs contribute about 50% of the GDP, and they employ about 60% of the country's workforce. Now, in developing countries such as ours, the statistic is much grimmer, where we estimate that only about 30% of the GDP comes from SMEs, and less than 20% of the workforce is employed by SMEs, which has led to this phenomenon that they call the missing middle, because there just aren't enough SMEs. And that missing middle is actually precisely the reason why Nation Media Group and KPMG 6 years ago came together and said, we need to celebrate. One, we need to identify the people who have actually gone out and done something about that missing middle, the people who are out creating jobs, the people who are out growing enterprises. So that's why we came together 6 years ago, together with KPMG, and formed the Top 100, which is about celebrating companies such as yours, celebrating people such as you, who chose not to be job seekers, but chose to actually be job creators. So this morning and today, all of today and all of tomorrow evening, we will be celebrating companies like yours that are creating jobs, that are actually helping to lower that statistic on the number of young people who are coming out onto the workforce every year but not finding any gainful employment. So we celebrate you this morning. We're glad that you could join us. We know that business is challenging. So the fact that you can also dedicate a whole day to us, we're really grateful that you were able to join us here today. And it will be a wonderful day, I promise, with participation from our sponsors, telling you about the different ways that we're looking at engaging with you over the next year. So asanteni sana, and thank you, and we hope to stay with you right to the end of the day. Thank you.